Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to also share, like, and comment.
Why are you changing rules, Mr. Speaker? To suit you? To suit the UPND? That's not how we should operate.
May you take your seat, Honorable
This is
Member.
not how we should operate. And stop gagging us, Mr. Speaker. Why are you so bent on gagging us?
May you take your
No,
seat,
stop
Honorable.
gagging us. This is our house and it belongs to us. Does not belong to you alone. You need to change your attitude. Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank you for this opportunity to dissect the presidential speech. Mr. Speaker, the presidential speech has got a history. So when we refer to some issues that we expected the president to dwell on, and they are not part and parcel, does not mean that we are dwelling away from what the president should have shared with us when he came. Mr. Speaker, according to this document, this is speech. It talks about progress made in the application of the national values and principles. Progress made. Where progress has been made, there is also the opposite side. What is it that would have enhanced that progress? What are the gaps? Why are we not making that progress in the fashion that we should be making? Mr. Speaker, the true measure of a president's success is whether he or she is fundamentally and meaningfully able to alter or change the everyday material conditions of most vulnerable people in society, being the depressed, marginalized, the landless, and the laborers, the masses for that matter. 2 years, going to 3 years down the road, after the UPND came into government, is this really what we expected the president to come and tell us here? Is this really what we expected the president to come and share here? For me, where I stand and the people of Kawambwa, the presidential speech fell below average. It did. It fell below average. Please, this is not the market. The office. It is the market. Go back to the market. On page 11, the president said, through our flagship intervention under the CDF, enhanced CDF, we now see equality, equity, social justice being restored. Many more of our children now have an opportunity to learn in a dignified environment, with several classroom blocks being constructed and the locally produced desks being procured. To some extent, yes. But the CDF should not be the song for every day. There are worse things in this country than talking about CDF every day. Why should we be talking about CDF every day, which is far below the expectations of Zambians? We have mopped up money from Ministry of Education. We have mopped up money from social welfare. You have mopped up money from CEC and dumped it in CDF and you think it's enhanced. No, it's not. Let's be honest with ourselves. Mr. Speaker, you always guide about debating while seated. Mr. Speaker, it's okay. It is a lack of intellectual bankruptcy. Intellectual bankruptcy at its best is what we are seeing. So, Mr. Speaker, this CDF we keep on talking about every day, which the president came to speak about here, has so many gaps. The money that was up has been mopped from bursaries, the money that was mopped from all sorts of areas. And now, Mr. Speaker, I can tell you that from the 30.8 million that we've been allocated for this year, 10 million has been embargoed. We cannot touch it. Ministry of Law Government is telling us 5.7 million must go to buy a refuse truck. 5.6 million, 2.7 million must go to the purchase, sorry, Mr. Speaker, 2.7 million refuse truck, 2.7 million ambulance, 110,000 motorbike. Once you put all that money together, the community projects are suffering. There is no money for the community projects. Meanwhile, the people out there, all they know there is 30 million, without explaining the truth. That money, the government, central government is giving it with one hand and taking it away from one hand. What kind of giving is that? And you keep on dancing about it. It's unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable. Social justice, Mr. Speaker. I heard Honorable Shiwangando constituency was mentioned by the President in his speech, that now we are conducting our elections in a free and fair environment. Mr. Speaker, Jackson Kungo was killed in cold blood by UPND cadres. The President had an opportunity to speak to that issue and level the playing field. During the Mkushi Council chairmanship, people were beaten. During the beating up of people in Mambilima, during the council chairmanship, a truck belonging to Honorable Jinsenga was badly damaged by UPND. We know what happened in Usangazi. Why didn't the President talk about these things? Mr. Speaker, there is no forgiveness of sins without confession. The President had an opportunity this time around to come here and ask for forgiveness from Zambians for being one-sided in the delivery of justice, for being one-sided in the fight against corruption. It should have been here in morality.
Order, Honorable Member.
Yes.
You have to confine your debate to the presidential speech. But you're talking about justice not being given to all. And you don't even have evidence.
Mr. Speaker, don't talk about evidence. I have evidence here. I have documents here and I have books here and documents
That
here.
evidence you may have, but it hasn't been subjected to review by me to be accepted.
You know, you don't have to review it. You have to lay it on the table first. That's how it works.
Yes, yes.
How can you review it before I lay it on the table?
Order, Honorable Member. If you had the evidence, you should have laid it on the table before you presented it. And it depends upon examination. It's either I admit it or not. So ensure that you debate the presidential speech.
Mr. Speaker, I will lay these documents and this evidence on the floor of the House, on that table, so that you can see the evidence.
Yes, before the evidence is admitted, don't make reference to it.
I think the rules of this House are changing. Mr. Speaker, I've been here for 11, 12, 13 years. And why are you changing rules? Why are you changing rules, Mr. Speaker? To suit you? To suit the UPND? That's not how we should operate.
May you take your seat, Honorable
This
Member.
is not how we should operate. And stop gagging us, Mr. Speaker. Why are you so bent on gagging us?
May you take your
No,
seat,
stop
Honorable
gagging us. This is our house and it belongs to us. Does not belong to you alone. You need to change your attitude. This behavior is unacceptable.
May you take your seat? May you take your seat, Honorable Member? You know, let me cancel the House. The fact that some of you have been long enough here without adherence to the standing orders does not make any difference. The standing orders are quite explicit. You should have time to read.
Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, J Cool, and turn on the notification bell, cause I'm gonna see you in the next video.